everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. I think we ought to finish this XL870. What do you think? I think I finally got all the parts we need. So, if it looks a little, I don't know, what's the word? Nicer? Well, I might have put a little time into that. It's not perfect. And it'll look better on camera than it really is. So that's a bonus for me. But I did spend some time with the polishing compound. And it looks better. Perfect? No. Better? Yes. Good enough? It's going to be, it's going to be a tough one for me to actually repaint this saw. A real tough one. But we can't be talking about that kind of crap when we still have work to do. So, let's go ahead and deal with our ignition. Now, you'll remember in the last video, one of the last things I did, I think, was rip the end of that. Now, if everything else was equal, I probably wouldn't be too concerned. I would just go ahead and fish this out, which I'm trying to do right now. And little Poopsie knew that I was on the video. So you can see that there's a chunk of rubber broken off down in there, and what I'm trying to do is force the terminal back and out. Well, it's not easy. Especially on an older setup like this that hasn't maybe been manipulated in, well, God knows how long. So, I might have to be rough with it. And if I jack it up, well, I jack it up, I guess. There's a reason I keep certain parts on hand. There we go. That got some of the junk out. Now, just pulling on the tang, you run the risk of unwinding the whole thing, but if you kind of twist it like I did and drop a little lube in there, which I did a while ago, you can get it out. And you can see that's all rusty on the outside, but the inside, it'll make contact. Alright. Almost should replace this, almost, but it's still got enough to it, we'll be alright. Now, the reason I'm not going to reuse the wire is right there. So these Weco Prestolite coils should unscrew. Okay, that one did. You can see that there is a post. Well, maybe you can't. I can. Down in there. I don't know if it's catching the light, but there's a little threaded post. Ideally, you thread it right in the middle of your wire. I just happen to have a little wire here. Wow, how'd that happen? It's magic. It's a thing of beauty. Alright. You'll kind of feel it bottom out after just that was about 4 twists. That's all you gotta do. So let's go ahead and fish this. And that way, oh, I forgot something. I had talked about replacing the crank seal on this side. Well, that's going to make this take a little while longer. Whatever, we're going to do it. So you can clearly see you got to get the points out of the way and that felt retainer. So we'll do one of these. See if I can avoid making a mess. See if I can keep things in frame. That is about as good as we're going to get, folks. Okay, so we'll remove the points first. Should be. There we go. And I guess Do I dare risk this? I'm being lazy, right? I do. I'm being lazy right now. Try and pop this all off. And it may not work. Oh, it worked. Look at that. Now I don't have to mess around with that tiny little nut there. Felt out of the way. Oh, almost got out of view. Almost. Okay. Now this can all come up and out. Alright. So there's our old seal. Before I go popping that out, I need to make damn certain that I have a new seal, and why there's something jamming this freaking cabinet up, I don't know, but it's pissing me off a fall. Okay. Oh yeah. We should be set. That's right. Well, yeah, that's the right one. Definitely the right one. Okay. So, what we're going to do, you can barely see the seal past the bearing there. What we're going to do is we're going to reach down in there and we're going to tap that sucker out. And I actually don't know if I can capture that edge. Yeah, you know what? We're going to use... What are we going to do here? I was hoping to do this a little more smart, but... And smart, I mean a way that won't risk me ripping my hand apart. But I don't want to catch the edge of the bearing shell by accident. Come on. There we go. I found the edge of that seal. There we go. Not pretty. Might have been okay. Hard to say not knowing. I do know it's not okay now. And I also know that it was leaking a little bit. Because there's a buildup of stuff. You shouldn't see that on your bearings. Look at all that crap that's going to fall out of there. Not kosher. There is nothing. Nothing at all remotely okay about that kind of stuff in there. Okay, I'm going to go blow this clean. Okie dokie. You stay put. So now we need to get our new seal to go in nice and straight, which that was not. So we will see, where is my 9/16? Let's see if I can get this to go. I have had problems with these gray exterior shell seals and getting them to start. The shell distorts a little bit easier than I would care for. So if this starts pissing me off, we may have to hit fast forward or something. I don't know. Yeah, see, this isn't... This is annoying. It's also annoying when they turn upside down like that. Now see, that side started, this side didn't. And it's going to bend. At least I sure think it's bending. Yeah, we're not doing that. Irritant. I don't know why I ended up with a bad batch. Seals. Pisses me off. There we go. That one's not going to give me any trash. This one will go right in. Not any horse crap whatsoever. In fact, it's already half started. Well, it almost was. It just wanted me to think it was. There we go. That's how they're supposed to go in. Okay, much better. Much better. And you guys probably couldn't see any of that. That's part of why zooming in is dangerous. The minute something moves, then I look as dumb as I are. Alright, felt seal. Guess it went that way. I don't know. I'm not sure it matters. Which one was which? Doesn't matter. God, these little points box areas are hard to get your finger into. That one went back here. Preferred you hadn't moved. Come on. God, come on. Alright. Getting there. Get our terminal block restarted in its little hidey hole there. Points post down where it belongs. Oh yeah, baby. Not too shabby. A little bit of whining was all it took. That's not bad. Although I don't have this screw started yet. See how much whining that takes. Come on. A lot of tension on this. Okay. And that means should be like about so. Alright. Now I can finally zoom out and move you guys back just a smidge. There we go. I have a new gasket ready to rock here. This does have the index pins. So that'll help hold it in place if I line it up right. I'd say this gasket was completely missing when we took it apart, which is a little bit disturbing. Those must be the screws. Alright, we're going to fish this lead through. Oh yeah. Quick, if I'm missing something, yell through the camera. I'm not missing anything. A few brain cells, but that's beside the point. That looks pretty good. Oh. Well, poo-poo. My ignition backplate is not drilled for those index pins. Now that, that's interesting and annoying. Really annoying. If I tear this gasket, I'm going to be so pissed. There we go. So I need to get it to line up. Oh, wow. And I'm supposed to drill those out without making a mess. Alright. What's the worst that can happen? Trust me. I know exactly what the worst is that could happen. I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see of this by the time there's a drill and my arm in the way. Oh man, it's going to rock. I don't like that. There we go. Okay, let's give this another shot. I'll even keep that zoomed in until I get this to lay down. I sure hope. Measure twice, cut once. In this case, it's draw once, cut once, drill once. Oh, please work. Gotta fish that again. Please work. I don't want to have to get upset. It's Friday freaking night. Come on. Where are you, you miserable little puke? By God, she just laid down. Got it! Ha ha ha! Phew! If you guys ever think I'm exuding too much confidence, well, there are times where I'm adopting that tact of just maintain a positive attitude and it'll all turn out okay. We all know that's a line of horse manure. But, all joking aside, going at something when you're pissed off, which you guys have seen me do, doesn't usually bode well for your project, you know? If something's got you bent out of shape, it's probably best to take a break. That is one of the lessons that my dad taught me early on, and he was right. And the reason he knew it so well, let's just say that the apple didn't fall far from the old tree. And I wish he was around to hear me say that. Because he'd give me some smart-ass remark and then agree. That's kind of how we did things. Alright. I'm not going to play around here. I want to drive, actually we'll drive this first. There's it, right there. Oh. Excuse me? That is an irritant. Oh, man. My new to me crankcase. Son of a bitch. Has a stripped thread. Ain't that grand? Boy, this is just getting more and more and more fun. And as I dig through my helicoil, oh, there it is. Why did I put that at the back? That was stupid. Damn it! This is getting dumb. Real dumb. Alright, well, I suppose I coulda, shoulda, maybe woulda chased these threads. You know, they upsized these to 1/4 inch eventually. Should I do that? Those ones felt okay. Can I get this back off now that it's on those index pins? Oh, no. Man, I did drill those right. It's a miracle. Oh, rat poop. I don't like doing this job again and again and again. Damn it. That gasket is not going to be happy with the way it was drilled. The inner part's already kind of torn. I'm going to put a little moto seal on that when we put it back together this time. And now I need to be careful not to F up and get metal shavings in here. Oh, yeah. Alright. I can whine and moan about this, or we can just get it done. This is the world's longest ignition install. Alright, thread repair. And of course I've covered up. Damn it. I don't remember what size drill I need for these. But at least I have a bunch of them. I must have restocked a while ago. Drill size 15/64. Probably could have figured that out. 17/64. 15/64. There we go. Alright, we're going to cheat. We're going to try to avoid making a mess. I don't know who I'm kidding. We know we're going to make a mess. We'll just put a little grease on the old drill bit here. Ugh. Nasty. Come on. Yeah. Definitely wasn't in good shape, that's for sure. So irritating. But the grease is keeping the crap out. Now granted, I gotta clean my drill bit, but I can worry about that a little bit later. Man, I'm telling you, the grease trick works. Really stinking well. All right. Why did I set that right there? For the smart things that I've managed to do this afternoon, that was not really one of them. Okay. I'm going to do a little Loctite red on this insert, because I don't want it ever moving. You just want the end of that threaded insert to be below the surface. That's what you're looking for. Because in theory, the end springs back out and then will hook into the metal and prevent it from spinning out. Now, it won't. It won't with it alone. Set that aside. I got to clean all that up. Now, I need to get metal shavings away from my work area. Just say no to the metal. Now, well, I've got that out of my way. I want to see if this is actually drilled out for 1/4 inch on the back one. Oh yeah, it is. Most certainly is. That's kind of odd. But then again, I thought that cylinder had been replaced. Okay, with what I did, there is not an ounce of sparkling nothing nowhere anyhow. And now that we're probably 30 stinking minutes into what should have been a 5-minute install, I'm going to put a tiny, tiny, tiny dab of Moto Seal there. Now it's on the inside. I want to stabilize it. Just in case. Okay. Generally I don't do stuff like that, but say they punched that gasket just a little tiny bit too close to the edge. And it's meant to be a one-time install, not however many times we're on. Okay. Take 37. Zoom you guys back out. Put you over here. Come on. You went in all the other times. Just go in now. Okay. And now I'm relatively certain that my Loctite was ruined. You're stupid. That pisses me off. Oh well. Could have been something worse. Could have been something that was harder to install. At least I didn't have to disassemble half the saw to fix this issue. Now, I do want to start that screw a little further this time. I think I had it in a slight bind. There we go. That feels much, much better. Which leaves no adjustment on this. It's going to go down where it goes down, and we'll just adjust the points. You know, I'm done. I am absolutely stinking done with this thing. That was the singularly most epically stupid thing I think I've had happen in a long time. One after another, those threads stripped out. Not kosher. Not at all. Not happy about that. Alright, we're here. We're going to set the points gap. Yeah, that's too much gap. That's too little gap. That's just the right amount of gap. .015 is the right amount of gap. It's printed on the housing here. I happen to know what that looks like. There we go. Good enough. I'm done with ignition systems. Well, of course, we know we have to test this because we've had it apart and we've done things to it, which means there's a chance that bad things could happen to it. But before we get too far down that road, you will recall there was another problem over here. And that would be this wallered out crankshaft key. Now it probably would go together and never be a problem for us. But that, my friends, looks an awful lot like somebody else agreed with me. That's Loctite. It had been put down in there to hold that key. You know, because this has a new cylinder on it, I'm going to bet, with that damage, I'll bet this thing's seized. I'll bet, yeah. I'll bet. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time jammering. There we go. We're just going to make us up a nice, whoop, sorry about that, little batch of JB Weld here. And the point of this is not to glue the crankshaft key. Well, I mean, yes it is, but what we're going to do is try to prevent it from hammering anymore. And yeah, normally JB Weld wouldn't be strong enough if this was just out in the wide open. But by the time you sandwich the flywheel over top of it, That's where I'm betting that this will work. I am virtually certain I've done it before. On what? I couldn't tell you. I've worked on enough saws that, yeah. I mixed up way more than I need here. That's because JB Weld blows out. Alright. You guys can see me. So what I'm going to do is go overboard at first and just pack it in here. It's definitely overboard. Where's my key? And is it clean? Because JB Weld doesn't stick to oil and shazat. Okay, now we're going to swoop. I can fumble finger it here. Oh yeah. Now I want the JB to ooze out around it. And by golly, it did. Now this is where you can't rush it, but you also don't want to screw around and let this crap harden. So I'm not interested in gluing the flywheel to the crankshaft. It's not what this is about. That's a good globular. Come on out, baby. There we go. All I'm doing is creating filler around it. Could I have found a replacement for this? Yeah, actually I could have. It would have been pretty damned easy, I think. But we're going to pretend that I couldn't. And that's what this is about. Alright. Piece of paper towel there. We don't need that installed. Alright. Now we want to put the old flywheel back on. Now this spent a lot of time in the ultrasonic cleaner, which took an awful lot of junk off of it, but not all of it. It is what it is. Now, just to make sure that this does not glue itself, and give it a PB blaster, yeah, in true PB blaster style, and make a big ass mess. Alright. That's almost like putting diesel on a form for concrete. That should help guarantee that it does not get JB welded in. That's down, that's down. That wire is not necessarily where I want it. God, I am just getting some good stuff going here today. That was my own fault. I should have done that before screwing that back down. Now I have to fight with it and hope I don't damage the wire. Damn it! Got so caught up in fussing and fighting the broken threads there. There we go. Oop. Come on. There we go. Not the preferred way to do it. Alright, is this on the firing position? Yeah, because I was setting my points. Duh. Get those magnets away from that flywheel, and I don't think I moved that key. Nope, everything still looks good. Set that down easy. There. Now, the taper of the crankshaft should hold that thing in place. There we go. Let's get that ratcheted down good and tight. That is good and tight. Should not slip. Okay. We need to put a terminal on there, on that new wire, and then we need to test it. This day, man, I tell you what, folks, this is not at all how I expected this to go. With this amount of time, I thought we'd be done. That's what I get for thinking. You guys are not seeing this. Great. Just punched in the terminal there into the wire, and I'm going to make sure it's good and punched. And that is good and punched. And we want some lubrication. Okay. We'll see. That's going to be... Oh yeah, look at that stretch right over there. They don't always work that nice. Oh, almost there. I can just see starting down here. Need to reach in and grab it and pull it. Ah, there we go, right there. That's the way it ought to be. Now, if I remember right, this spark was hot enough previous to me taking it apart. Let's see. Oh! Yep, it's hot. I think I became the ground there for a second. That'll get your motor running. Guess I did that to myself. Oh well. Alright. Almost ready to throw a carb in this thing, but we need to throw a grommet, a boot on that. What do I have here? See if I can make one of my aftermarket ones fit in there. I think I can. I know better than to fish it the other way, though. Trying to avoid having to take that throttle handle cover off. You guys see a commonality in things that I do. I say I try to avoid something, and lots of times I have to do it anyway. Is that good enough? Probably not. Getting close. That. Come on, lay flat. Don't screw with me here. Okay. We're going to call that good enough. So I went through the carburetor and it wasn't in terrible shape, but there was no screen and there was a stringer of something that was between the needle and the inlet. So it wouldn't have run worth a diddly poop. And that fuel barb is out a little bit. See how it's out of the housing? I want to tap that back in. I also want to straighten this. Oh God. Well, maybe it never went in all the way. Oh yes, it did. There we go. That's about right. We want it downward tilt just a smidge. But not so much. There we go. That should work. So I've got lots of extra hose there. I need to nip this down a little bit. There we go. Now we have another fight on our hands, because that's a fairly big barb for that hose. So, lube it up, hope for the best. Alright. How did I do this before? I had to have done that. And I had to have done that. And then some sort of that. And maybe that. So that just slipped out. So that sucks. Does that go? Okay, well, take two. I guess the throttle rod must go on top of everything. I should remember that, but I'll tell you what, I don't. And it's fighting me, so I'm not convinced that this is right. But we're going with, yep, it is. No, yes, no. Is this throttle rod, is this throttle rod bent? After what I was doing to it, maybe. Yeah. I think it is, but I'm not going to screw around with it until I have everything screwed into place. Worst case, we'll pull the throttle handle off and do that thing that I didn't want to do. But first, I need to get this stinking hose on. There it goes. Okay. Now we need to somehow fish. This is gonna suck. This is really gonna suck. You piece. Come on. Alright. I gotta prefer this spacer to stay put. Alright, I'm gonna try and get it through the bottom screw first in the silly fantasy that I won't drop it. Not even gonna say it. Okay. Can you start without being annoying? Okay, that works. That doesn't. What is the problem? Okay. I can live with that. All this is loose. Let's deal with a couple things before I forget to deal with a couple things. I still haven't found, not that I've spent a lot of time looking, I haven't found that damn clamp for that fuel pipe. I will find it. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I'm going to get this oil line clamp back in place. Maybe it'll fight me like everything else has today. I don't even remember what size that is. Is that 5/16? It is. Drop this other one in though before tightening it. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure our clutch won't fly off and to the moon. That should do it. And while we're here, I'm going to ask the question of what I did with the cover and the screws. There it is. Okay. These are getting a little Loctite blue as well. I'm not playing around here. I'm already irritated that the cover got a hole cut in it. I'm not going to cut a second one. And I am using the correct screws and washers. And that'll go a long ways towards not cutting another hole. Just a little bit more than I needed. Thank you, bottle. Okay, that's mostly buttoned up. We haven't done the bar adjuster yet. But with how this video turned out, it's going to be way too effing long with all the things that have gone goofy to do what I wanted to do. So we're just going to give up on that. It's going to be my dinner time long before I can do a test run tonight, but we can at least get the thing ready. I want to drop... Well, I want to get that fuel line in the tank. Let's get a new filter on it. And for that, I think I will use a new filter. Anything else I've done to this saw, I'm not going to shortchange it on a freaking fuel filter. You know what I mean? Okay. In the tank you go, to the bottom. I can hear it down there. That's where you belong. You're home. Okay. This is a non-vented fuel cap. I'm going to put that in place now to keep some shazat out of there. This is a vented oil cap, which I have already replaced the duckbill valve on. Keep the crap out of there in case I make a mess. Okay. We can drop our missing cover in place, or not cover, air filter mount. That's what that's supposed to look like. But I actually need a screw for that, since there wasn't one here. And that's a pretty short 1224 screw. Where the hell? There we go. And generally, these won't, the shape of these won't let me use this socket. We'll see if this is any different. Well, just barely. Okay. So it's got the spit back filter and the air filter cover mount right there. This one came, if I think I'll have to take that rubber or cork grommet off of there if I have a filter with a built-in grommet, but I don't think I have a filter. Well. I have a filter around here. We're just not going to do it tonight. That looks like it wants a spark plug. I don't remember what, if anything, was in it. I don't care what, if anything, was in it. Getting a nice new CJ6. At least we're doing stuff now. Making some progress instead of stupidity. Man, when I replaced that first threaded insert, or that first, put the first one in, I thought, man, wouldn't that just be a bunch of horse shit if each one failed one at a time? That was kind of cool. Getting to see that prophecy come true, that was just brilliant. Oh yeah. Oh, good compression. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright. We're due to install a handle. And this might be a pain in the old patoot. Depending on how this goes. I've cleaned this up a little bit too. I thought about trying to do some new on the new coating on the handle, but I was like, yeah. This has been walloped before, so that's why I'm saying this might be a little difficult to install. And since it's on the vise, I may have to take it off before I can get this handle to go. Alright, let's not be stupid. See if taking it off of here first will do the trick. Probably will. But I don't know. See if that'll go around now. Oh yeah. Okay. Rubber's got a little cracking to it, but it's not terrible. So we're going to get these screws started. And hope to God those threads aren't damaged. That would probably push me right over the edge. Where in the world? Probably underneath a crescent wrench. That's good. So the rubber inserts for the shoulder screws and that rubber boot behind the bracket were, like I say, they were in okay shape. Okay enough. I'll just run with them. I'll go ahead and tighten this down. The way this bracket is shaped, I think I shouldn't have trouble slipping everything up in there. The trouble is going to be aligning it down below. Ooh, yeah, baby. Ah. fairly solid mount. Alright. So I think we'll just get this started. Oh, no, not like that. Come on, dummy. I may have made a strategic, there we go. Strategic error in judgment. This I do not want to crank down all the way just yet. See if we can still get this somewhat upside down. Upside down in a way that's probably not going to be helpful at all. Okay. Yeah, this is irritating beyond belief. There we go. So there are 3 holes, 2 on this side, so that's the way that bracket needs to go. Like that. Not bracket, spacer, whatever you want to call this. And then you got to get her to line up with something. And then line up with some holes in the crankcase. And what do you know? I managed to push it all the way. Hey, I did it again! Okay, so we're going to stop doing that. That's stupid. God, come on! Say, everything has turned into a fight. That's why I'm about done for the night. Go in the frickin' house. Dial up the newest episode of Survivor. Did I do that last night? I don't remember. Do something other than chainsaws. Alright, those screw holes are lined up. Good enough for me to at least get these damn screws to start, I think. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this handle's been walloped. But I don't have a replacement for it. And it adds some character. This is not going to be a pristine saw. It's going to be a damn good looking saw. I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve here you guys haven't seen yet. And by tricks I just mean surprises. They're not really tricks. I'm not a musician. That either those are the wrong screws. Boy, something's not right there. What in the world? I'm telling you guys, everything has been such a damn fight here. Huh. Those aren't the right screws. You know what it is? This thing is actually loose on that aluminum insert. And that's not supposed to be. Well, poo. What are we going to do about that? Somebody's already done this. Definitely already done that. This is probably a dumb idea. Yeah, it's doing absolutely nothing. God, I am telling you, I have had it with stupid. really had it was stupid. That is so mangled. I don't think I can do stuff with it at all. Alright, you come back and see what this thing feels like when this is actually tightened down. Better. I don't know how durable that would be over the span of 50 years, but hey, it's not going to go for 50 years. Alright. I still need to get some more parts together. I'm going to tease you guys a little bit. That is the starter that it came with. Okay, there we go. Not bad. A lot of paint wear. I could paint this with my green that I use and repaint the white and get it close, but I don't have decals, at least not yet. Got a good friend that's working on that. We know that cover, the clutch cover, has the hole cut in it. I'm not going to be able to do much about that. But I've got a few things that are going to make this look really good. And that's why I have to end this video now. Because the last thing, I got to go check the tracking and see if it's going to get here tomorrow. The last thing is what's going to make this worth what I'm going to do. And I am totally leaving you guys hanging. I'm sorry about that. But didn't come in the mail today. Plus this got so freaking long I can't do any more with it. So what's the moral of the story? When you have one strip screw, do them all? No, that's not the moral, but I guess since this crankcase was an unknown to me, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that. Whether that damage occurred while it was being taken apart, or it occurred some other time in its life, I don't know. Whatever, I don't know. Got a lot of good practice in on helicoils. Whoop-de-doo. So what are we missing here? I still need to install, I should have done that before tightening the carb down. We've got the high-low grommet that needs to go in. We've got, you guys probably couldn't see that, but you know what it is. We got the adjuster that I got to pull this thing off and put it on. This doesn't use a flywheel screen. We got a spark plug in there. We're close. When that last part and piece arrives tomorrow, yeah, we'll be able to finish this. Finish it up pretty quick. We've got the bucking spike. Now this one has that extra hole drilled in it because of the old broken crankcase. I think I'll go ahead and just reuse this as a reminder of what had been on it. Catch you guys on the last and final episode of this in a couple days.